Less than 1% of searchers click on a result from the second page. And that is why it is so important to rank highly. And the only way that you will successfully do that all starts with keyword research. And that's exactly why in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to find low competition, high value keywords. And we're going to do that using Semrush's Keyword Magic tool. Thank you to Semrush for sponsoring this video. Now, the reason that we use this tool is because it is an extremely powerful tool that lets you find thousands of relevant keyword ideas in seconds. So use the link below to follow along so that you walk away from this with your own list of relevant keywords that you can actually rank for. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll pop in a seed keyword here, and the tool will find lots of related terms. Now you want to make sure that you select your database, which is the country that you are targeting. Now that you have the list, you'll want to drill down on this information a bit more. This is where most people stop. They just pick keywords here, but not you. You're going to pick the right keywords so you actually rank. So let's take this a bit further. Now, a few great ways to do this are by search volume, keyword difficulty, and search intent. So you can select the keywords that you can realistically rank for. So if we are looking at search volume, we don't want to have a search volume that's too high or not too low either, but we want something attainable. So if you are going for a brand new site, you may not have the highest search volume that has the highest competition. We need to start with something a bit lower as your site builds more authority. Now, we also want to look at keyword difficulty. So you want to pay attention to this because if you are just starting out, you want to avoid high difficulty words and you want to go for ones that are easier to rank for, again, as your site is building up more authority. Now you also, if you are running ads, want to look at the cost per click or CPC to make sure that the keyword has value for advertisers. Now you will also notice here the AI powered box where you can also pop in your name, and this will give you AI powered personalized data relevant to your website. Now we want to look for long tail keywords. These are often the overlooked opportunities. So this is how you find keywords with less competition, and in return, you receive more targeted traffic. Now, some may not have high search volume, but they will convert better. So you don't always just want to dismiss some of the lower search volume keywords. So one way we can look at this is with match types. We have broad, phrase, exact, and related. So a phrase match, this provides keywords in the exact same form as the seed keyword, but in various orders. So this will exclude variations of your keywords. So if they end in ing or an ed, have an s at the end, and so forth from your results. Now the exact match will show all the keyword ideas for the seed keyword in the exact same form as the seed keyword and in the exact order. Now broad match, on the other hand, will show all keyword ideas for the seed keyword in all found forms without the exact order. So broad match is the one that is going to return the largest amount of keywords for you. Now next, you'll also want to click on the questions filter to see keywords in the form of questions. Questions make for really good keywords, and the more that people are using voice search, the more that these are going to be coming up as well. So these question-based keywords are great to find ideas for blog posts, if you want to rank for featured snippets to target, and campaigns as well. So some questions that are commonly searched for are the how-tos, or what's the difference between X and Y, and where do I find X? So what you'll select really depends on your audience and the types of content that is going to be relevant for them. Now, next up, we want to look at keyword intent. Now, this is how you are going to know if the searcher is looking for information, are they comparing products, or are they actually ready to make a purchase? So there are 4 types of keyword intent that you want to be aware of. The first is informational. So this means that people want to know more. They are in the research mode. They are collecting information, but not necessarily ready to make a purchase. They're trying to educate themselves and gather more information in order to make a better decision for themselves. The next is navigational. So they're trying to find a specific website or brand. And so you may see keywords that fall into this category, but people are really looking for a specific brand, so it may not be something that you want to rank for. Now, the next is commercial. Now, this is where they are comparing products or services, but they haven't decided yet. And this is where you'll see some of the keywords like, what is the difference between X and Y? Or comparing two different companies, two different services, so that they can be better informed, but they're getting a little bit more closer to actually making that final decision and making a purchase. Now, the final type of intent is transactional, and this means they're ready to take action. They're ready to buy something, they're ready to sign up, they're going to make that download, whatever is that final action step that they want to take based on the type of keyword that they're putting in. So you want to consider your goals, and you want to look at the intent of the keywords that you're selecting so that you write content according to that intent. If you have a keyword that is informational, but you're writing it in a more transactional way, people are going to leave the website. So you always need to consider keyword intent. Now, the next thing we're going to need to do is to organize keywords into groups. Okay, these are called keyword clusters. Now, this is where you want to group similar long tail keywords, and then you can target them in separate pieces of content or all together in a larger guide, depending on the word. So you just have to fit them together in a way that makes sense. So you can also look at subgroups over here, and this has 3 levels. So you can enter your seed keyword and explore the 3 subgroups for additional keyword group ideas. So this is how you can create one pillar piece of content. That is that full guide, that long, thorough piece of content. And then you can create multiple single topic posts, and that all of those posts will then link to that pillar piece of content to support it, give it some more internal links and that little bit of boost to help show the search engines that that webpage is more important. Now, this helps to create topical authority and improve your SEO. So now we want to look at the keyword strategy builder. Now, you can use the keyword strategy builder to track the clusters that you have created. So you can manage keyword lists and watch their performance so that you can see which clusters are driving traffic and which ones need some more of your attention. Now, we also want to look at related searches and variation. So if you have too narrow of a focus on exact keyword matches, you may need to take a more broad look. This is where you will look at the related keywords tab. Now, these may be keywords that you haven't considered, but they are closely related to your seed keyword. Now, you'll always want to consider variations as well, because people search in different ways. So for instance, searcher 1 may look for affordable restaurants in Houston, Texas, and another searcher may look for cheap restaurants in Houston, Texas. So they are absolutely related. It's just a different variation. So a few additional advanced keyword research tips for you. You want to focus on user intent. You really want to understand the why behind the search intent so that you are creating better content. Because if you get that traffic to the website, but then your content doesn't really fit the intent of their search, they're going to leave. That means you are losing that conversion, you're losing that possible sale, and it's probably going to hurt your SEO if people are just leaving your site. As soon as they get there, they quickly determine you're not there to help with what they need. Now, you also want to add modifiers to your keywords to make them more specific. So if we look at the example of running shoes, we can look for running shoes. We can also look for running shoes for women or best running shoes for women. Or we can go a step further and look for best running shoes for women with flat feet. So you see, with every search, we're getting more and more specific. And also, the traffic numbers may go down, the search volume may go down. However, the conversion rate tends to go up because we're really targeting in. And now, someone who is clicking on the last search there for best running shoes for women with flat feet is likely a woman who has flat feet, and they're much more likely to convert than if they're on a page just with general running shoes. Now, you also want to explore question-based keywords. So many people miss out on that. So start some of your keyword searches with the who, what, where, when, why, and how to see if you can create some additional keyword opportunities as well. So you also want to consider SERP features. How can you rank for some of the SERP features like people also ask, or even the featured snippets at the top of search results? So that way you can look for which are the keywords that have these features appearing for them so that you can structure your content in a way that would give you the best chance of taking over those spots in search results. And don't forget to use those filters. So many people stop at just that initial keyword list. They do not bother to look at the different metric filters so that they can really tailor it down. If I have a site that has been around, it has more authority, well, maybe I can go after some of the more higher competition keywords or some of the medium competition keywords. But if I have a brand new site, well, then I need to start with some more low competition to allow me to get some initial rankings, to allow me to build up some site authority faster. So make sure that you're using the filters that make sense for your site to drill down to get more specific keywords. The more that you do that, the more likely you are to select the right keywords and be able to rank for those keywords that you want to target. So now, what are your next steps? So you want to use the filters to target the right audience. You want to find long tail keywords that you can easily rank for using the strategies that we have covered here. And then you want to build and track those keyword clusters and then adjust your strategy as needed. So if you didn't take the advice at the beginning of this video to click that link to follow along as we went here so that you ended up with your own keyword list, do that now. If you need to restart this and go back through, do that, because very soon, the next 10 to 15 minutes, you can have your very own keyword list and you'll have a great list to be able to work from to start ranking some highly relevant keywords for your specific website. So I hope this was really helpful. If you have any questions about the keyword magic tool with Semrush or Semrush in general, let me know down in the comments below and I would be happy to help you. Thank you so much for being here and spending your time with me. I'll catch you on the next one.